Welcome to Rock Kaput, two Germans talking about rock and metal. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Alex.
Welcome aboard. Today we are gonna rank the studio albums by Queens of the Stone Age. We have 8 albums, and let's get started. I'm gonna begin. As an introduction, in the 90s, as I guess many people of my age, I discovered Caius, the great stoner rock band, which were kind of, nowadays you would say that they are a retro band, obviously, but back in the day, what they did seemed kind of new to people of my age. And I liked them a lot. Discovered them with their third album, Sky Valley, and bought their last one and the back catalog as well. But then they disbanded. Band leader Josh Homme and Nick Oliveri founded Queens of the Stone Age, I think 2 years later. I got into Queens of the Stone Age a bit later when they released their third album, Songs for the Deaf, and I bought the back catalog and followed them until Era Vulgaris, then lost track of them again. So their last 3 albums were new to me going into this exercise. And ranking their catalog was actually kind of hard, even though they don't have that many albums. But I'd say 5 albums of theirs could be theoretically be number one. And maybe they would be if we did this in a couple of months or in next year or something. At some point I just decided to let it go and let's rank them, and maybe we'll do another ranking in a couple of months or something like that. But they have a strong catalog, and let's go. So my number 8 is their 2017 album Villains, which they produced with pop producer Michael Ronson, David Ronson,
Mark Ronson.
Mark Ronson, sorry. And this is not a bad album. It has good songs, but somehow I don't like it, and I can't really pinpoint why. I don't understand why they chose Ronson as a producer. I didn't research about it, didn't read anything or something like that. I thought their comeback album before was really strong, so I don't know why there was the need to change anything. I think Josh Homme produced that one like clockwork himself. Yeah, and Villains is kind of poppy. It has a bit of a new wave sound, I think. It's clean. It has this typical 2010s kind of pop sound, which I don't really like. But like I said, I can't really explain why. It's just it gives me a certain feeling I don't like, and I don't like from Queens of the Stone Age especially. So that's my number 8. And my number 7, and maybe that's a bit unfair because I didn't give this album a lot of time, and maybe it might be higher if I had listened to it a couple of times more. It's their last album from 2023. It's In Times New Roman, and I can't really say much about it. It's a bit more rocky than Villains, I think. But none of the songs really stood out to me. It's an okay listen. but every album before that one, there are songs that stick with me and have stuck with me, even if I hadn't listened to this band in a long time. But in Times New Roman just didn't click. So maybe it will be in the future. For now, it's my number 7. So it's your turn.
Okay, first as an introduction, how did I find Queens of the Stone Age? I also came from Caius. I was a big Caius fan in the 90s. I also came in with Sky Valley and then listened to Blues for the Red Sun and The Circus Leaves Town. And I like all those albums. And when they dissolved in 1995, I was kind of sad because they delivered the blueprint for the 90s stoner rock, and I think they still are among the best. And many bands copied them, of course. And there's been a lot of offshoot bands from John Garcia as well, like Unida, Slow Burn, and I think some more. And later on, Sons of Kai. No, not Sons of Kai. Caius Lives. And yes, and then I was kind of disappointed. And then I found Josh Homme founded a new band, Queens of the Stone Age. And I came in with the debut. And first, I was a bit skeptical. The vocals were a bit, you were a bit unfamiliar and very unique. And for a heavy rock band to sing like this, I mean, of course, there were 70s bands that had this vocal approach, but it was a more quiet, a more soulful approach. And yeah, it needed a few listens to get used to it, but then I liked it. And yeah, it was a very nice band. And you could still hear the connection to Caius, this desert rock feel. And yeah, I was on board and I experienced almost every album in real time, more or less. And I've seen them, I think, 4 times. And the last one was earlier this year, actually, in Karlsruhe. And it was great. They were really good. Okay, my number 8, probably no surprise, because this is the one album which makes the last place in the rankings. Most of the time, it's also Villains, just like yours. Yeah, I agree. Mark Ronson was a weird choice. I still like the album, but it's really a weaker one, I would say. So some not many songs really stand out to me. My favorite is probably The Way You Used to Do. It was a small hit, I think, and yeah, don't have much else to say. I think the production is okay. It has some kind of personality. The production in their discography. I kind of like it, but I like the others much more. So my number 7 is yeah, maybe a contrarian choice. It is Rated R, their second album. The critics, when I remember back in the day, the critics they praised this. It was 3 steps ahead of the debut, everything. To me, it always yes, I can see why. Yeah, because expanded their palette, what they are doing. They were more experimental. They had poppy stuff. They had punky stuff. On the debut, most of the songs were very similar, like you had a riff, a melody, and an idea, and some weird songs. And here you have quiet songs, you have ballads like Autopilot with Nick Olivieri. You had the drug songs, which is funny in the end, this nicotine volume, blah, blah, blah. It was funny back then, but I think the joke gets old very soon. It got old very soon, at least to me. So, and I never really liked this album, and I've always preferred their debut. And I always, yes, I also like the song with Mark Lanigan. Mark Lanigan is one of my favorite singers of the Seattle scene. But I don't think I think In the Fate, it's not really one of my favorites. What he will record later with the Queens, hands down, it's much better to my ears. And I also dislike Nick Olivieri as a singer. He's not really my favorite. When he's not screaming, it's okay, but I would prefer on any song when Josh would have sung it. So yeah, not my favorite to this day, despite having to listen to it the most of all, probably, because I wanted to like it. But as a whole, I mean, my favorite songs are The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret and Leg of Lamp, track 2 and 3, and the others are okay, but yeah, not my favorites. Yeah, back to you.
Okay. So my number 6 is the debut, Queens of the Stone Age. And I agree with what you said. It's most reminiscent of Kais of all their albums. It has the same kind of guitar sound, that I always have to think of a swarm of insects when I hear it. It has this kind of sound to it, and it's an album that starts really great. I think the first two tracks are all great, um, but in the end it peters out a bit. Yeah, it's an album that starts way better than it ends, and yeah, that drags it down a bit for me. And yeah, they have a tendency to do that on later albums, I think. Um, and yeah, so this is my number 6, and my number 5 is Rated R. And yeah, I see it a bit differently than you do. I always liked this album, but and maybe this is kind of the same, because I'm a bit burned out on it. Um, there are songs that stick to you really fast. You have lot of songs that have kind of earworm qualities. Feel good hit of the summer. You mentioned it with that funny druggy chorus. Lost Art of Keeping a Secret, Autopilot, Monsters in the Parasol, stuff like that. But yeah. They get a bit boring after a time, and like the debut, I think the second half is worse than the first half. So in the end, you feel like, yeah, get to the end now. And that's I mentioned it already. I think they could even be better if they cut out a couple of songs from their albums, because they are very long. Most of them have 15 songs or 14 songs and stuff like that, almost an hour long. And yeah, so kind of drags a bit. Yeah, and that, I think that started on Rated R. I still like that album. Yeah, but for now it's my number 5, and it's kind of a dividing line in my ranking, you could say. So your turn again.
Okay. So my number 6 is Era Vulgaris, the first album on which they used more electronic sounds. At the same time, it's very garagey and yeah, kind of a bad production quality. It has a bad production quality on purpose, I would say, a little bit. And yeah, and this weird idea that with those light bulbs advertising the album, which is kind of funny. I kind of like the artwork. And I had a kind of a collector's CD back in the day, but I only got the first one of it with B-sides, where they covered Tom Waits, I think. That was kind of cool. So yeah, I like this album a lot. It has really a very unique vibe in their discography. The first songs are great, "Sick Sick Sick," and the first one, "Turning Up the Screw." I really love those. So, and they sound very garagey, psychedelic, and 60s. Really, really cool. And I also like the very slow grooving song "Make It With You." Very cool. I think those are the standout tracks to me. Yeah, very cool album. Like it a lot. So my number 5 is their newest one, In Times New Roman. Yeah, with artwork. So I like this album actually a lot. It's a very consistent album. This is an album I can listen to from front to back without a distraction. On the other albums, they have kind of slow trips in different directions where the album goes through many different moods and motions. Not so much on this one. It has a kind of a grandiose, majestic feel, I think, and a very nice guitar sound. I really like the production, and his vocals, Bowie's vocals, are very dark and very, very sinister. And it has a Bowie-like quality on some tracks, like Bowie in his darker moments. And I really like it. So it's maybe it is a bit of a grower, I would say. I didn't like it immediately. Other albums have sometimes have this more of this immediacy. You know, you listen to it like go with the flow, or no one knows. Yeah, you listen to it and you like it. This is a bit, the songs are a bit more complex, and you have to be in the mood. But when you're in the mood, this album totally wins me over. So I like it a lot, and yeah, I think Josh Homme grew very much as a singer, and you can hear it on this album. So the development from the first album to this one, this is amazing. So that's my number 5.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I have to give it a few spins more. My number 4 is Era Vulgaris from 2007. Yeah, I switched this one around a bit because it's yeah, you could say it's probably their most, you said garagey, I'd say it's also their weirdest album, maybe their most non-commercial, maybe. And I like those weird riffs they have, and there are a lot of them on this album. It's a minor problem with this album. I think it starts off with by far the best song. Turning on the Screw is, I think, one of their greatest songs. I totally love it. It has this super weird riff, but it's a total groovy, banging song, and it's yeah, it shouldn't be that catchy with a riff this weird. And they're yeah, and Into the Hollow is great as well. There are a lot of cool songs on there, but this one really sticks out to me, and it comes at the first on an album with I think 15 tracks. So they always they have this the sequencing problem on this album. Um, but yeah, there's other songs on there that are great. You mentioned 666. I'm Designer is cool. Misfit Love is a cool song. That Battery Acid is super weird. Yeah, wrecks your nerves. It's noisy and atonal and yeah. And then afterwards, there's Make It With You, which could be on rated R, I think. Has a bit of a ballady feel to it. Yeah, weird album. Kind of yeah, kind of courageous probably after the albums that came before, to put this one out. Yeah, and after that one, they went on hiatus for I think 6 years. Yeah. So I had this one higher, but in the end it settled down on number 4, and yeah, depending on my mood, it could land on 2 or 3 or 1. Number 3 was a big surprise for me, and if I would be more of a daredevil, maybe I would have put it on number 1. It's their comeback album, Like Clockwork, and I was trying to find reasons to put it lower, but I couldn't. I think track for track, maybe this is their best album. It's not that you when we talked about it, you said it's not that hard rocking of an album. So it's a bit of a departure from their sound. There are a lot of slower songs and more introverted songs, but I love those songs. I think they are gorgeous. I Sat by the Ocean, it's beautiful. The Vampire of Time and Memory is a great song. Calopsia is another very, very melancholic song. And maybe my favorite on this album was I Appear Missing, which is the second to last song. Um, yeah, I really love it, and the only reason I didn't put it higher was because I don't know it that well, and I thought, yeah, I should be a little more careful with the ranking. But in the end, I couldn't help but rank it on number 3. It's a great comeback for them. I'd say it's one of the best rock albums of the 2010s, and yeah, it's kind of a shame that they abandoned that style and put out Villains afterwards, which is a totally different animal. So yeah, check out Like Clockwork if you don't know. It's great. Your turn.
Okay, so my number 4 is Like Clockwork. I totally agree with everything you said. It's a great album with great guest performances. Elton John, I think, is playing piano on one track, and also background vocals and a lot of other people. Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys, which Josh Homme produced back then. I think he produced their third album, Hamburg. Yeah, and this album is really great. I like every track. My favorite is probably The Vampire of Time and Memory. It has a very singer-songwriter-esque quality to many songs. So not really a rock band, but a rock band performing more quiet, but very colorfully arranged songs. And I think also Dean Fertitta and Troy Van Leeuwen are really much more integrated into the band, and they were also involved in the songwriting. And I think from a songwriting perspective, this is probably their best album even. So I also could have ranked it higher as number 4. So I mean, all the ones 1, 2, 3, 4 were very close to me. So, but today it is my number 4. But it's a great album. as you said. So my number 3 is their debut, the self-titled Queens of the Stone Age, the first one. I love it a lot. I also love the bonus tracks. Now it's also available with bonus tracks. I also love those tracks. It's really great. Evan is great. Regular John. I think they play many of those tracks until today. I think I've heard Regular John. I've heard on the last concert as well. So yeah, and you can yeah, many of their trademark sounds are already on the debut. Yeah, you can hear the crowd rock influences, the 70s rock like bands like Blue Cheer or Blue Oyster Cult, and yeah, also punk influences a little bit. And yeah, I really like it. I also like the weird instrumentals they have on this. And yeah, Josh's approach to singing, he's called the Ginger Elvis. And I think it somehow fits. I mean, he looks a little bit like Elvis, but also the voice. He has also a very soulful voice. He doesn't exactly sing like Elvis, but I think the comparison still is very fitting. But he doesn't do the rockabilly Elvis approach. He doesn't do that. But still, and yeah, the debut is great. I mean, from the today's standpoint, maybe the debut sounds a little bit like Meat of Potatoes, Queens of the Stone Age. But yeah, the songs are all great. And what else do you need? I love it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you mentioned soulful voice. Yeah, I think for that he does a lot of falsetto singing, which is reminiscent of yeah, soul musicians from the soul singers from the 70s, Motown, stuff like that, Al Green. And it's really kind of unusual for that style of music,
Yeah.
I think, and he does it really well. And I don't understand why he kind of dropped that style on their last two albums, where he goes way deeper and he sounds more like a new wave singer. You mentioned David Bowie. I was reminded of David Byrne from the Talking Heads.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think he does this falsetto voice really good. Yeah, so my number 2 is Lullabies to Paralyze from 2005. And I hadn't listened to this one in quite some time. Actually, I haven't listened to Queens of the Stone Age for quite some time. And I remembered this as way weirder than it actually is, because it isn't that different from the album that came before, Songs from the Deaf. Um, I think the middle section of this album is the high point. There are great songs all in a row. Burn the Witch, which is one of the weirder, darker tracks on this album. Little Sister is a great song. I Never Came is great, and then they have this super weird and long track, Someone's in the Wolf, which I totally love. Yeah, but it's a cool album throughout. Another very long one, not that commercial than the one before. So it's kind of a good stop in between Songs for the Deaf and Era Vulgaris. Yeah, great album. Not a bad track on there. My number 2, and probably an obvious choice for number 1. Maybe a boring one. Maybe I should go the more contrarian route, but I mean, what can you do? Songs for the Deaf is an amazing rock album, which yeah, was kind of a haven back in the day, because um, there wasn't a lot of hard rock that was also cool back in the early aughts. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you had Foo Fighters were still good at that point. You had those bands from New York, the Strokes, which were a bit more avant-garde, you could say. Um, but you still had bands like Nickelback and those late emo bands that weren't that cool. And then this one came out with great songs, and it has real cinematic feel to it with those radio interludes, um, which give this album a lot of scope. It's kind of a journey you take with them. Great mood, and great musicianship, and unlike Rated R, where I said I burned out a bit on it. Uh, I mean, No One Knows was everywhere back in the day, and I still think it's a total ass kicker of a song. I can still listen to that one, and I'm still amazed by how great this one is. Yeah, it's really one for the ages, and but it's not the only one. The Sky is Falling is a wonderful song, very cool melody line, and also this kind of weird groove. Um, Hanging Tree is great. Go with the Flow is a straight rock song. Um, yeah, Another Love Song is also, I think, a late highlight in that album. Great deep cut. Um, yeah, it's a masterpiece, I think, and but yeah, I mean, it speaks for the greatness of that band that it's not that lone highlight in their catalog, but they managed to write albums that rival this one without just duplicating it. So yeah, I guess everyone who's watching this knows this album. If you don't, well, you should run and check it out.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. So my number two is the same as yours. Lullabies to Paralyze. Great album. It's also for me a sentimental favorite. So I remember great times when it came out, and um, yeah, it's really outstanding. I think it has the best and most variable sequencing. And it starts with this lullaby sung by Mark Lanigan, which is amazing. Yeah, I love it to start an album like this, and it also fits to the album cover with the child and the lamp. So yeah, so I think all of the Lanigan cuts are great. Yeah, Medication, Tangled Up and Played, Burn the Witch with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top on lead guitar. It really kicks ass. This is really a very, very great Queen's groove. Little Sister was a very good comeback. No, not really a comeback, but a great single before the album came out. I Never Came is one of their very, very best songs. The Blood is Love. Yeah. Yeah. What can you say? I love it. So, and my number one, the same as yours, is Songs for the Deaf. So I was actually surprised that it became my number one, but after revisiting it, I thought, wow, so many outstanding tracks, one after another. The Sky is Falling. No One Knows with its polka groove, yeah, which is very weird for a hard rock song, but it totally works and is a total banger. And of course with Dave Grohl on drums, yeah, and really probably the best air drumming album of the 2000 era. It's really, really great. One of my favorite songs is Songs for the Deaf. This is really one of their all-time classics to me. It is very dark and yeah, the groove is so mean. Yeah, they're really badass, the whole band. Yeah. And I mean, I mentioned before, I don't like Nick Oliveri when he's singing. He's singing on a few tracks. I don't mind it that much, but it's still not my favorite. But even with Nick Oliveri, this album made it to number one. So it's really good, and also the production is really awesome. It's so in your face and kind of in the red all the time. It has this energy. And I also like the sequencing they did with the radio snippets before. Sometimes they are funny, weird DJs, use DJs from, I don't know, from Texas or wherever. Yeah, really, really a nice album, and yeah, it it had to be number one after I revisited it. Yeah, it is really their best because of the number of outstanding tracks alone. So, and Josh singing is great. Yeah, yeah, I think definitely their peak. And no one
Yeah,
knows is the song to listen to if you don't know them. If you don't like it, maybe this is not the band for you.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you like it, buy all the albums.
and I think yeah, when you're ranking a catalog like this, you always want to be a bit contrarian, a bit original, and yeah, pull attention to something maybe not everyone has discovered yet, but yeah, sometimes you can help it, and you have to honor greatness when you hear it, I think, and yeah, um, like no one knows. I don't know how many times I to that one in the clubs back in the day, and it's still amazing, great song. That's straight in your face, but still there's so much happening in it. There's so many dynamics and different parts, and cool vocal lines to sing along with, cool lyrics. It's yeah, just a great album. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
cool. that
Nice.
was that was our ranking of the Queens of the Stone Age catalog. um I hope you liked it. If so, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, give us your ranking, tell us where we went all wrong, what idiots we are for liking the wrong albums, whatever you like. I hope you stay with us, and we'll see you soon for our next video, whatever that may be. Have a great time and go listen to some Queens of the Stone Age. Bye.
Bye.